What's going on, kidney smashers?
Atta boy. Logan, why don't you go ahead and explain what we're doing today?
Alright, so today we're starting a little new thing. We're just gonna be playing some Black Ops 2 multiplayer while just talking about whatever comes to mind. It's gonna be talking about current stuff in the world, stuff we just want to get off our chests.
Why I'm sad.
Why Chase has no bitches.
This time I'm really gonna do it.
Why don't we go ahead and start the conversation with, just something simple.
Why hit marker? Oh.
So let's just talk about, the current state of Call of Duty Zombies.
Well, I guess with Vanguard, I haven't played Vanguard, so
I haven't played Vanguard either.
I've played I've played 2 games of the Vanguard Zombies, and I don't know, it just feels like Treyarch has just gone complete, just idiot mode with Vanguard. It's like they know.
Mode.
It's like they know that Vanguard isn't their game, so they're not putting the effort that they would into their own title.
I think it's crazy.
What company made Vanguard?
Launch with a map. Vanguard Sledgehammer. But I think it's crazy they didn't launch with an official round-based zombies map. Instead, it was miniature Outbreak.
They still don't have it, and it's still just like that. The new zombies map they just released is the same exact thing.
Oh, so it's like Outbreak?
No, but the map is super small. So basically what it is like you have a starting hub, and it's not like an open map. You have a starting hub, and you just teleport to different parts of the map while doing challenges.
Like, imagine Outbreak, but every map is like the size of Nuketown.
Yeah. And the Easter eggs only take about 10 minutes to complete. Now I've heard the storyline is actually pretty good, but I haven't taken the time to actually care enough to indulge in the storyline. It's from what I've heard, it's like a prelude to Cold War Zombies. And fresh off of Cold War Zombies, I'm sure we can all admit that it had
Cold War wasn't bad.
And it showed okay, maybe they do have the passion they had in Black Ops 3 and Black Ops the older games.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't know. I think it might just be that kind of, as time change, you kind of get used to what you like what you like, and you don't like change kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that, but then again, I grew up.
It's not necessarily the game's fault. It's more just us.
I grew up around Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. But then again, I really enjoyed Cold War. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was definitely a step in the right direction after Black Ops 4, I thought was horrible.
Well, the thing is that, Black Ops 4 had this mantra of, if it's not broke, people are always if it's not broke, then don't fix it. And, they just tried to fix something that wasn't broke, and people enjoyed. People have always enjoyed that core gameplay of Call of Duty Zombies. And, they expected to be able to load in, get some perks and just survive. And, Black Ops 4 just kind of changed that, because none of the guns killed, and, all of the maps were super, super, super storyline driven and super Easter egg driven. There wasn't a map where you can just go in and just try to survive. You went in to do the Easter eggs. Nobody enjoyed playing the game.
Yeah.
But things like Blood of the Dead. Blood of the Dead's Easter egg was actually really good, and it was super long and actually a super hard Easter egg. But that's the thing, the common player is not going to want to sit down and do a super long Easter egg like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely just they're trying to find new players, but in order to do that, they have to change, which makes the old players not happy. So it's trying to find a balance of keeping their old players and getting new players.
I'm gonna say I think my biggest problem with Call of Duty is that I understand that. I mean, it is one of the basic games ever. Everyone knows Call of Duty, and I feel like it probably won't happen. But the fact that they release a game every year just just waters it down.
Well, they've confirmed, with the recent acquisition of Microsoft buying Call of Duty, that they're not going to make a Call of Duty every single year. after Call of Duty 2022, I think they're going to start like a 2-year cycle rather than every year. Which I personally don't know how that's going to work with the multiple companies making Call of Duty. Like, I don't know if they're just going to stick together, like, all parties go in and make one Call of Duty and, like, focus on, like, zombies and stuff and, like, multiplayer.
Oh. I feel like that would be interesting to see, but overall, I think that would just kind of be a mishmash mess.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, each parties are good at their own respective thing. Like, Sledgehammer has always been good at making really good story-driven games. Like, Advanced Warfare story was so good. World of War story was pretty good, too. Like, the campaigns were really good.
World of
Like,
War.
the multiplayer, I mean, no, World War II.
I don't know, you could say that, but I think, sure, Sledgehammer might be able to make a pretty good story, right? But so can Infinity Ward and Treyarch.
Yeah.
I mean, Black Ops 1, phenomenal. World at War, phenomenal. Honestly, Black Ops 2
Black Ops 2 was pretty good, too.
was pretty good. I definitely think it was a lower point, and then after that, Black Ops 3, that kind of just fell off. Black Ops 4 didn't even have one. But with the Modern Warfare games, that's fantastic trilogy.
And even Modern Warfare 2019's campaign was pretty good, too.
I didn't play Modern Warfare's campaign, but I've seen some things about it, and it kind of makes me want to. I just don't want to pay for it.
I mean, I have it. And I've played the campaign twice. I like it so much. It feels like that old school Modern Warfare campaign. You know what I'm saying? But, like, the games just don't have the same feeling that they had anymore. I think it's because, like, we've grown up. And, like, they're not going to have that nostalgic feeling anymore because we're not that young age where, like, things can impress us that easily. And, like, we're in an age of gaming now to where, like, we're at a plateau and games aren't really able to get any better. And, like, we're expecting them to get better. But there's not much games can do to get better.
True.
I don't know. I feel like nowadays, like, for something to be claimed better, it has to be different than what we're used to, if that makes sense.
Well, the thing is like, all of these quote-unquote different games have failed at that.
It has to be different.
I mean, you gotta look at, like, say, Rise and Storm Vietnam is one of my favorite games. Like, there's nothing really similar to that. I mean, it's got aspects from a lot of different first-person shooters, but there's not...
True, I could definitely, whenever I play Rising Storm, I don't immediately think, oh, this is just like, you know, whatever.
I mean, like, the only thing you can, like, kind of compare it to is, like, Insurgency. Like, Insurgency still has its...
Insurgents, it's still got its own thing. I mean, I guess you could say that they're similar, but just... I don't know. Similar, but different.
Yeah. But, like, in their own way.
Yeah.
But, like, each games do stuff good, but, like, personally, I think Rising Storm is better than Insurgency.
I agree. I like that larger scale that they have. I mean, you don't really have to worry about all the different attachments. You pick gun and kill.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you have objectives, but I mean, it's just capture point. It's pretty simple. You don't really have to think too much. You don't have to really try. It's just, it's kind of simple-minded fun. Sort of like how Call of Duty is. But it still isn't like Call of Duty. It's its own thing.
Right.
Yeah. I personally think the best thing that Call of Duty has done in recent years was make it all crossplay.
Yeah, I feel like that should be a definitely something in the future that becomes a necessary.
For all games. I feel like all games should be cross-platform like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it becomes taxing for companies because they're going to have to start developing anti-cheats, and that's going to cost more money to them. But it makes the fan base happy because, like, I can load in and play Xbox games, like, while I'm on my PC. Like, I can load in and play Call of Duty with somebody that has an Xbox and I have a PC.
Right.
Oh.
But, like, as for zombies, there's still, I mean, there's a really bright future. And we saw that with the Cold War storyline and the gameplay itself. Like, what Cold War did is they took the idea of what Black Ops 4 wanted to do by like getting rid of crutch perks and getting rid of like a meta in every single game, and they made it different, but in a good way. They made it different in a way where people can enjoy it and actually like still like playing the game. Because you saw all of these big like multiplayer YouTubers, like all the FaZe guys jumping in like, oh, I got a round 100 on zombies on Cold War. It was just like, what? People that never played zombies were playing zombies.
Yeah,
That was
Cold War.
wicked.
Cold War was honestly easy, like a very easy zombies game.
I feel like that was needed. Zombies doesn't like the core gameplay of zombies doesn't really need to be hard. Like, it's really satisfying to be able to go into zombies and just kill. Like, have guns that just mow zombies down and be able to kill. And like that's what sucked about Black Ops 4 is no gun did that, and it made it impossible to really get high rounds on Black Ops 4 unless you had a freaking Hellion Salvo rocket launcher. Like, it's kind of crazy that a rocket launcher is better than all of the other guns in the game, even wonder weapons.
It is kind of crazy. I've seen that. How that's literally just a strat for every map.
Yeah, all high round strats are with that the PhD Slugger.
I don't know. One hand, you have, you know, zombies getting high rounds is easier. It just feels like the people you're trying to please. Personally, I don't really mind it because yeah, it is really satisfying to be like, hey, I can get to a high round. It's really just more enjoyable. It doesn't take forever. It's fun versus, you know, it's basically just meant for those people that don't really care to grind it out. Which is, I guess, that's a big problem a lot of people have because it like devalues the work that they've put into to be like all that time and effort they put in to be, you know, a great zombies player. But
Yeah.
personally, I know I couldn't do that. I know I wouldn't do that. So being able to just sit down and crank out a round 100 in like
2 hours.
2-3 hours, yeah. Just like not really have to think about it too much. It just kind of just chill, play the game. Yeah. I think personally it's a great thing.
Cold War did a lot of things good.
It did do a lot of things good.
And if we were to get a Zombies Chronicles on Cold War, I would be fine with it.
I really like what Cold War did with the DLCs. How all DLCs were free. That was actually really surprising.
But we got DLCs way like the time between maps was way more drawn out than what it was. With
That
regular.
doesn't bother me
Not
because think about it.
really.
Because I mean, you're paying $15 for a map that you're only going to play zombies on.
Well, you paid for the whole map pack. You would pay for the multiplayer maps. You'd pay for all of them.
Yeah, but some people only play like a select mode.
Yeah, I don't play multiplayer, so when you have to spend $15 for a fraction of the content, that honestly.
Well, what Black
Yeah,
Ops 4 did is they made it to where you can just buy the zombies maps.
Yeah, but it took a while for them to add that.
Yeah. But Black Ops 4 also had the like a season pass system, and they also had the battle pass system too.
I think the battle pass is fine, but I could see why some people will like this, but I don't like how level progression in between modes.
Me either.
I feel like as me mostly being a zombies player, it kind of devalues
Yeah, because
playing
like
zombies. I mean,
it's like
Cold
you go
War.
in-
In Black Ops 3, I like what they did where the levels are separate, you know, 35 and then a prestige. I feel like that balanced out
Yeah.
since it took so much longer to prestige in zombies than it would in multiplayer. Plus, you know, Cold War, it took forever to level up your guns to even do the camo challenge.
Right.
Yep.
To the point where it's like, honestly, I just gave up. I just didn't
Yeah.
care anymore.
But it forces you to play the other game modes, which is how they make their money.
I just don't want to play the other game modes. Oh. But yeah,
Which I mean, we played like some like 6-man searches here and there, right? Cold War.
yeah, but overall, I don't know. I'm just not really too into multiplayer games. I feel like the competitive aspect for me is what largely takes the fun out of it, especially in these newer Call of Duties where metas are so heavy.
Especially in games like Warzone too.
Right.
Like when you get into Warzone, everyone's running the same thing. Like whenever like the DMR and the MAC-10 were meta in Warzone, it was like actually broken. Nobody else used anything else, and like it just takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, I hate metas. I just want to use. I want to find one gun I like and be able to use that, whenever I want. I want to use a gun because I think it looks cool. Because I think it's
It's
fun,
fun to
rather
use.
than it because it melts because you have to. That's what takes the fun out of it. Of course, some people that's where they find their fun.
It's just pub stomping and
Yeah.
destroying people.
I mean, I guess absolutely decimating someone is pretty fun for a little bit. Then after that, it's just
You're doing the
boring.
same thing over and over and over again. Which, to come off of that argument, I do think Warzone was a really good thing for the company, like for Activision and for Call of Duty as a whole.
Right.
I think Warzone is the best battle royale I've ever played.
Warzone is actually enjoyable and fun.
I guess just for me, since I hate the metas, I wish it was more based around ground loot rather than just get your loadouts.
Which is what Blackout did really well. Which was like Blackout, you just focus on ground loot. And like you would actually like build, it was like kind of how PUBG, you build attachments off by taking them up off the ground, you put them on your gun. I think that was pretty cool.
That was something I liked, but overall I just think Black Ops 4 fucking sucked.
I mean, Blackout was super slow paced, and it didn't have the respawn system, so you had like people that were just playing super slow. But like the thing that I like about Warzone is that you have a respawn system, you can buy people back, and it causes more fast paced gameplay.
Yeah.
That, and it's just more fun, other than you drop in, someone on your team dies, and it's like, oh, well, now I gotta wait 20 minutes for my friend.
That, and you're not completely limited to like 100 people.
Yeah.
Whereas, other battle royales you are. I mean, once you're done, you're done.
But they're actually making a Warzone 2, for not this year's Call of Duty, but I think like the next year's Call of 2023. They're making a Warzone 2 because they want to like help the longevity of like a 2-year cycle, so they're gonna make a new Warzone and like all that stuff, which is gonna be pretty cool in my opinion.
We'll see.
I think it may. This is the first year that Call of Duty has came out and confirmed a game before they've had a worldwide reveal and everything. Like it's February and Activision has already confirmed Modern Warfare 2022. Like they have already said, yeah, we're making Modern Warfare 2. Which I think is pretty cool because like it shows that like they're confident in their game and they're confident in the product that they're putting out. Because I feel like the reason that they kept Cold War so hush-hush and made Cold War like a big reveal is because they knew that their game wasn't ready to be released and they were just trying to keep it like under wraps for as long as they could.
It's possible, but overall, with what they had, I think they did pretty good with it.
The fact that they built the game in 6 months and made a game that good is kind of impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it did have, a bunch of flaws at the beginning, but overall, that just seems standard with most games now.
And that's what's sad. And like that's where like video games are starting to like plateaus because companies are so okay with just releasing a broken game at launch and fixing it throughout the life cycle of the game. That's not what people want. They pay for a finished game. They expect.
Honestly, I feel like that's the internet age. The fact that you can, do that overnight, that's just part of the age. I mean, it's like we're past the physical copy of games and all that.
Yeah, because like with games before that, like when you release a disc version of the game was finished because they couldn't release updates just like that overnight. Like the cloud wasn't as big of a thing as it is now, with like how you can just update games with a click of a button.
I mean, look at like PS2 games. Like if you bought a broken game, that game was broken.
Yeah.
There was no fixing it.
No fixing it. It just seems like they don't play test their games anymore.
I mean, which I'm sure they do. Like,
it's just crazy how much stuff slips through.
Yeah. Like the new, which I know you guys don't care about this, but the new NASCAR game that came out. The game is like literally unplayable, like, and like the game crashes when you try and play it, and it's like they didn't play test their game because the game just isn't like actually it's not playable. Like there's key factors in the game like a sport of NASCAR that isn't even in the game, so it makes it like it's just like you're driving a car on a track. It's like kind of impossible to play. Which sucks because people paid $60 for that game, expected it to be good, and they got like a $20 game.
Oh yeah, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Your timeline.
I mean, I guess. Oh yeah, that just seems standard in a lot of games.
Like Battlefield 2042, EA should be ashamed of releasing that game, honestly.
Oh yeah,
Because
I
of it.
hear it's awful.
I have it. I played it the first week release. Haven't touched it since because the game has not been updated or anything. They have
Has
not
it?
released. No, they haven't released any sort of like post-launch like DLC or anything, which is kind of crazy.
Alright, Kidney Smashers, that's the first episode of Let's Talk.
Yeah.